Today, I will tell you about a mistake that 90% of employees make, and because of this, their money never gets a chance to grow. They receive a salary every month. Some of it gets spent, and a little is saved. But the real wealth creation that truly makes you financially independent never really happens. And the reason for this is actually very simple, which is that their portfolio is allocated to the wrong places. You see, this is a financial mistake that many people are making every day, but they only realize the heavy consequences 20 or 25 years later. And of course, by then, it's already too late, and your dream of becoming rich is shattered. You certainly do not require a massive salary in lakhs or crores to become wealthy, because you just need the correct financial system and a proven strategy. You might already be aware that every week on my channel, I share a lot of multiple high return strategies, and that too with in-depth research and many practical examples. And I must tell you that in the last 2 months, all your comments on our videos have encouraged me even more. In fact, our videos have helped many people make their important financial decisions. Many people have also reached out to me on Instagram, and my team has guided them as well. Now, I was telling you about that mistake. Now let us say that an employee's salary is 20,000 rupees per month, out of which 10,000 is basic plus DA. Now, as per government rules, 12% PF is deducted every month, which is 1200 rupees per month. Now, your employer will also contribute the same amount. This means a total of 2,400 rupees goes into the Provident Fund every month. PF is a debt instrument. It is safe and provides a fixed return, but the overall growth is quite limited. Let's say that employee is disciplined and invests 20% of their salary every month, which is 4,000 rupees. This is a very good thing, but the problem lies in the choice of investment. Most of that tends to invest in PPF, bank FDs, post office saving schemes, or invest in debt funds. For our example, let us assume this employee divides the total 4,000 into two parts. He puts 2,000 in a good debt mutual fund through an SIP of 2,000 in an equity fund. Now, you might say this is the best strategy, a 50-50 allocation. But here, the actual equity allocation ends up being only around 30% in total. And the remaining 70% of the money gets stuck in debt. The other 2,000 he invested in a debt fund. Now look, out of 6,400, nearly 4,400 were debt fund investments. This essentially means 70% of the money went into debt funds, while only 30% could finally be allocated to equity. Now think about it carefully. 70% of the money that's supposed to build your future is in debt, where the interest rate is usually around 6 to 7%. And on the other hand, inflation is also running at 6 to 7%. Now, if you think about it, what this means is that the money you are trying to save is just maintaining its real value. It is just surviving, never actually growing. If you genuinely believe that you can actually become wealthy or a millionaire simply through traditional PF and FDs, then that is a huge misconception. Because alpha, meaning the extra return that sets you apart from the average person, is truly the specific return that makes you rich, never generated from debt instruments. Do you think that individuals like Mukesh Ambani, Gautam Adani, and Elon Musk invest their capital in FDs? The answer is they are obviously not. These wealthy individuals invest money directly in their business equity, and that is how they are able to become so rich. Ask yourself one question. Is your money truly for building a bright future, or is it just for staying safe, meaning just sitting idle in banks? Consider carefully that what will actually happen if you dedicate your entire professional career to investing in debt instruments. You will remain safe, but you will never become wealthy. You will always, in fact, fall short of money for your retirement. You will have to actually take a loan for your children's education, and the dream of financial freedom will remain just a dream. In the end, you will never be able to enjoy life. You will just manage to cover household expenses. That is it. Look, if you are serious about escaping the middle class trap, you need to understand how rich people invest. And in this video, I have provided a detailed explanation of exactly where and how all the truly rich people invest. How they are able to generate a 50 to 60% return every year. The various asset classes they invest in, and most importantly, how you can actually invest in them yourselves. Everything has been covered in very great detail. I have put the link to this video in the description. Be sure to check it after this video ends. Now, moving on to what we were discussing, let me tell you where and how you should invest your salary for the best returns. And most importantly, I will also explain exactly how you can generate extra returns from equity in a falling market. Look, if we look at equity data from the last 40 years, Sensex has given an average CAGR return of 12 to 14%. And if you had invested in a small cap fund, this return could have even gone up to 15 to 18% CAGR. This effectively means that equity investments will double your money every 5 years. Whereas in debt, it takes 10 to 12 years to double your money. Although this difference might sound relatively small, through the effect of compounding, it creates a significantly massive wealth gap. Let us try to understand this with a real-life example. Everything will soon become clear and it will really separate the wheat from the chaff. For a salaried employee who every month invests 6,000 rupees, has 3 options. To start with case number 1, that is a debt-heavy portfolio. This basically means that you are putting 80% of your investment in debt and only 20% in equity. This means 4,800 rupees go into debt instruments and only 1,200 rupees into equity. If that person for 30 years invests this way, the final corpus from the debt portion will be around 59 lakh and from the equity portion 84 lakh. This means a total of only 1.43 crore rupees was accumulated. In his 30-year career, he could only make 1.5 crore rupees. Case number 2 is a balanced portfolio, meaning 70% in equity and only 30% in debt. This means 4,200 rupees will go into equity and 1,800 rupees into debt. Do you know the final result after 30 long years? You will get almost 2.94 crore rupees from the equity part alone and 22 lakh from the debt part, meaning a total corpus of 3 crore 16 lakh rupees. Compared to case 1, this is 1 crore 70 lakh rupees more, and that too from just one small decision. Now, consider case 3, an aggressive portfolio where all 6,000 rupees were invested in equity. If this was done and equity gave a 15% CAGR return, then after 30 years this corpus will result in exactly 4.21 crore rupees. Just consider that. Same person, same salary, with the exact same amount of investment discipline, plus maintaining the very same 30-year tenure. Only the allocation differed. The debt-heavy approach made only 1.43 crore, while the balanced approach made 3.16 crore, and the aggressive approach made 4.21 crore. By the way, there is another strategy to optimize this return, in which case this final number can go up to 8 to 10 crore. Watch the video till the end, and I will explain that too. But from what we have seen so far, one thing is very clear. Just because of wrong allocation, an employee earning 20,000 rupees a month lost almost 3 full crore rupees in potential opportunity loss. This lost money could have actually secured your retirement. It could have also covered your children's education expenses. It could have provided you with total financial independence and accomplished every single one of your personal goals. And most importantly, this approach could have ended the constant stress from your life. But today, you are still struggling each and every day for just 1 or 2,000 rupees, forcing you to work so hard. If you had 4 crore rupees, what all can be possible with that corpus? The problem is just with the mindset. Employees think, I need to be safe. I do not want to lose my money. And because of this fear, they sacrifice their money in the name of safety. By choosing to invest in debt instruments for 30 years, you are effectively sacrificing your entire life. Please consider that you spend roughly 25 to 30 years of your life inside an office. You are working for 9 to 10 hours every single day and can even get scolded by your boss. You waste hours stuck in traffic jams, and moreover you get pushed around on trains and buses, and in the end, your hard-earned money cannot even basically beat inflation. You sacrificed your whole life, yet what did you receive in return? Only basic survival. You did not get to enjoy life. Is this fair? Of course not. If you really want to become rich, you really need to understand how to allocate your portfolio correctly and efficiently. I will explain this process to you step by step, but remember one simple thumb rule, and that is the thumb rule of age. Whatever your specific age happens to be, keep that identical percentage in debt and invest the remaining portion of your money in equity. This means if you are 30 years old, 30% of your money should go into debt and 70% into equity. If you are a salaried employee with PF deductions, calculate precisely how much is going into your PF and put the rest of the money into equity. As you gradually get older, keep increasing your debt allocation for better safety. This is indeed the only effective formula that will keep you secure and help you become wealthy in the long run. And if you choose to play a little smarter by effectively understanding market timing, you can create a corpus of 8 crore, not 4 crore. The strategy is very simple. Whenever you notice the market has fallen by more than 10% from its recent high, simply shift all the money accumulated inside your debt portfolio right over to equity, and that is the whole strategy. This simple method will allow you to enter the market at a much lower level, and as soon as the market rises, your returns will effectively double. There is one more strategy. Look, you can see a sheet on the screen. In this example, I consider an SIP investment of just 2,000 rupees per month. This is based on the previous 10 years of return data from many of the good funds. I have selected 4 of the very best small cap and mid cap funds. You just have to allocate 500 rupees to each fund. That is simply it. In 10 years, 7 lakh, 51,000 rupees will be successfully made. In 20 years time, the total corpus will grow to over 60 lakh 77,000 rupees. And in 30 years, you can easily build a corpus of 4 crore 37 lakh 95,000 rupees. Now, think for yourself. What if you invest 4,000 rupees a month instead of just 2,000? This entire amount will essentially double, meaning a massive corpus of 8 crore can be quite easily created, provided these specific funds continue to perform this well. Now, as I previously mentioned, whenever the market falls by more than 10%, you need to shift all the money accumulated in your debt portfolio to equity. This total amount can double from here. It can go from 8 crore to even 16 crore. So, stop making this mistake from today. Let whatever portion of your salary is going into PF go there, because that is simply a government rule and we cannot do anything about it. But invest the rest of your savings in equity mutual funds. First, create a solid emergency fund that covers 6 months of liquidity, and after that, all the remaining surplus savings you make for the long term. You should put them into equity funds. If you want to create wealth, make equity your friend. SIP in equity mutual funds, index funds, and small cap funds. These will be your lives. Most powerful decisions. The money you invest in equity today will ultimately serve as your primary ticket to total financial freedom. One decision suffices: the right investment allocation. It can change your entire life. If you found value in this video, please like it and then share it with all of your friends. This short presentation can actually change their lives. And please subscribe to the channel. We will meet again with another interesting video like this one, in which we will discuss some very important high return investment strategies.